What's up, Sauce Nation? It's your boy Ray Ray Rants. We're bringing you another video. I'm joined by two other members of the round table. The boy Spitz. Spitz, what you got?
What's up, Sauce Nation? What's good with you?
Wise?
What's good, Sauce Nation? Y'all already know what I'm about to do. I'm finna put in the plug. I always put in the plug. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscription button. Make sure you join the Patreon. It's cheap right now. You can get grandfathered in. We got a lot of sauce dripping in the future. You want to get in the Discord, like I said in the last video. We got the Senior Bowls coming up. We got the Draft Day coming up. We got the Pro Bowls coming up. We got all type of stuff coming up. It don't matter.
Yes,
Just know that we got
You,
more sauce content, the Sauce Factory, and we the best roundtable in the nations.
best, we the original round table. Y'all wouldn't miss none of this content that's about to come up. The original round table.
The original, the only.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do it round robin style. We're covering corners and safeties. Yes, both. In the same video, we're going to do our top 5 corners / safeties for the 2022 NFL draft with one dark horse. And we'll start it off. Spitz, you get the dark horse first, man. You get to go.
I'm gonna take the cornerback Cincinnati, Kobe Bryant, opposite of Sauce Gardner. His name is Kobe Bryant. But no, seriously though, I do think that he would be a solid dark horse. Somebody you probably get maybe in the 4th and the 5th round. Somebody I think that he could possibly do something good for your defense as well.
Me, I know you said one dark horse, but I got two. I'm sorry. I'm kind of tied between both of these guys. Both of these guys can be found late in the draft. And if I was the Houston Texans, or like I like to call them, the Houston Texans, in the 4th round, the 5th round, I will look at both of these guys. The first guy I want to talk about is Petrie. Petrie is coming out of Baylor. He's a safety. This guy's physical. He can lay guys out. He's a strong side safety. He can play in the box. And then my other dark horse is going to be the man himself, because he has a phenomenal name. Storm Doug from North Carolina, University of North Carolina. The guy can press you at the line. He's a physical corner. And like I said, he can be found in later in the rounds. Don't sleep on that name. I know it's a weird name, but it's a guy that can trend on the upside later down in his career.
There's a lot of weird names in this draft. That's no joke. There's a lot of weird names in this draft. Smoke Monday, Storm Duck. I mean, you got all kinds of Kingsley Njabari, Iki Ikinawu, Eric Emphysema.
Yep.
Yeah, you got all kinds of crazy names. All right. Well, I'm an overachiever too. I got 2 dark horses as well. Mine is Lewis Cine from Georgia, the safety from Georgia. The guy has been a starting safety at Georgia since his freshman year. Why not? Why not take a stab at him? I don't think he's going to go early. I think he's got pretty good. He can hit. He can cover. He's done everything pretty well his entire career at Georgia. I mean, and again, Georgia defense was crazy this year. My other one is going to be Kier Elam from Florida.
Yes, exactly where he need to be at.
I'm very high on him. Not a lot of people are. I think he could translate real well to the next level. He's probably one of the surest tacklers as far as this class goes, and as far as corners go, maybe even safeties, except for one person, which I'm sure we'll get to later. But I think he's a guy that could definitely fall. I'm talking mid-second, maybe even late 3rd, like then a compensatory pick kind of thing. So that's my particular one. So which will transition us to 5 Wise. We'll start with you this time, man.
Well, my number 5 guy is gonna be a guy from Clemson University. He's a small guy. He can play zone coverage. His name is Andrew Bujunas. And you know how I feel about the juniors. If he's a juniors, then he can do it. Wow. He is my number 5 player when it comes to secondary and DBs in general. The reason why I put him at number 5 is because I got 4 guys that's better than him overall. But this is a guy, non-kidding, he's a first-round talent. He's going to be a guy that's going to be taken in the 1st round. I would be shocked if he fell to the 2nd round. If he fell to the 2nd round, he'll be going within the first 5 picks. But this guy's long. He's rangy. He can make plays. He's been a starter at Clemson for the last 2 years, I think maybe even 3 years, if I'm not correct. But the guy makes big plays. He's good with his feet. He knows how to stay square with his shoulders, and he knows how to use his hips when I'm looking at his film. So I like this guy, Andrew Booth Jr., and he is the number 5 corner / defensive back on my list.
Wow. All right, Spitz, who you got, bro?
Well, I guess great minds think alike because he's also my number 5 guy as well. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's 6 foot, 195 pounds. I think he might be the best tackling corner in this draft. He makes a lot of good hits.
Yeah.
We all know that coming from Houston, we do well with Clemson drafted players. So I definitely think he's a guy who possibly is somebody that you could definitely get. Hopefully, in the second round. But I agree with Watts. I don't think he's going to fall that far. But he is my fifth corner as well.
Awesome. He's not mine. Booth doesn't make my list.
Wow.
Oh,
Booth doesn't
wow.
make my list.
Wow, that's shocking.
Yes.
Who's your number 5?
We had to add safeties in this group. He don't make my list. I'm sorry, he don't. My 5th is Daxton Hill from Michigan because he is going to be a corner. He plays safety, but he plays more like a slot in the box kind of safety, which is basically a corner. They even have him listed at a corner, I think, on PFF right now, for God's sake. I mean, I just feel like if we're going to include a corner safety class, what better position to have someone who can play corner and safety than on this list? Not to mention, I think he's a little more versatile in what he can do than versus maybe a Booth Jr., right? The only reason Booth isn't on my list, to be honest with you, is because sometimes he takes a lot of chances. He really does. Like he kind of gets burnt a little bit more than the other people we'll talk about, which is going to be on later on. But this will put us back to our 4th, and then Spitz will start with you on this one. Who you got at number 4, man?
I got this might shock some people. I got Kyrie Elam out of Florida. He's 6'2", 193 pounds, and the guy just makes plays. Every time I watch his tape, he's around the football. He kind of reminds me of A.J. Bouye a little bit. He's always around the football. He's a big corner. He's 6'2", 193 pounds, and he's just always making plays. If it's interceptions, if it's bad balls, I think he plays aggressive. I think he's somebody who will – I think he is a guy that really might fall to the second round because I don't think a lot of people really give it too much run. So he's a guy that might be taken late first, early second. I hope he can fall to the Texans in the second round because we picked early in the second round. But I think he's a guy who would definitely have a lot of potential when it comes to the NFL.
He sure does, man. All right, Wise, who you got?
Well, you already know who I'm going with at my number 4, excuse me, is going to be Jaquan Brisker, the safety out of Penn State. The reason why I got him at number 4 is this guy's a playmaker. This guy is a playmaker. When I say a playmaker, this guy's a playmaker. But when you look at his film, to be honest with you, he's good at backpedaling. He's rangy with his hips. He got the good pursuit levels. His tackling, he can work on his tackling. He can work on the way he hits guys. I know in some plays he leans with his neck and stuff like that and try to arm tackle. That's one key thing I didn't really like about him. But the guy does come from a Penn State defense with a Mr. Brandon Smith. And those guys, when you watch the film, they completely stand out from anybody else on the film. And when I say this guy's a leader on his defense, he's a leader. So if I was the Houston Texans and this guy was able to fall to the second round, this is a name that I will keep my eyes on.
Yeah, my number 4 is Brisker as well, for everything you just said. When he's talking about the shoulder tackling is a concern because he kind of DJ Swearinger kind of style, a lot of shoulder checking, kind of leading with the neck head kind of thing. Which he can clean that up. That's you would think it'd be a little more form tackling, but the fluid hips of this safety, I would put it this way, because obviously he's going to come up. But if there was another safety that was not coming out of this class during this draft, he would probably be the top safety. Well, that and Battle went back to Alabama. That kind of helped as well. But nonetheless, he is easily going to be – he was again, him and Brandon Smith, when you watch any Penn State tape, they shoot off the board. Go back and look at the linebacker video that Wise and I did earlier. So we're going to transition to the third. And third is going to go Wise and Spitz. What y'all got?
You want to go first, or do you want me, or you want me to go,
Yeah,
Spitz?
I'm asking, you can go.
I mean, this guy, number 3, let's just say he affiliated with the team already. He already affiliated. He don't even gotta. Don't worry. The man, he already got the name. He already got the drip. His name is Sauce Gardner. The man is the number 3 player on my board. He could be the number 2. He could be the number 2. He can't be the number 1, but he could be the number 2 on my list if he could. He has the talent. This guy has not given up a touchdown his whole college career. The guy is long. The guy is lengthy. The guy does not give up ground to any receivers. He's physical at the line. This is the type of corner that I like to see. The guy has his own island and he shuts down one side of the field. And this is a guy that reminds me of young Darrell Reeves when he was with the New York Jets.
Yep. Spitz, who you got, man?
I have a strong feeling it's going to be unanimous across the board, but it's Sauce Gardner. I mean, like you said, long and lengthy. He's 6'2", 188 pounds. Another big physical corner. Like you said, I agree. He could be another Darrell Reeves. Possibly. I wouldn't be shocked if we looking 4 years down the line and say he was the best corner in this draft. Because from a physical standpoint, he's very, very physical. Now, all the physical gifts as somebody else that we might say on this list, because somebody has more physical talent than him. But when it comes to the way he plays, like he played his whole career, not giving up not one single touchdown. How hard that is to not give up one touchdown. Like, you give up one touchdown on a fluke play just in one season, let alone when he started 3 years. Give up no touchdowns? Like, come on. That right there is amazing to me. And I think that he definitely would be. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a top 10, let alone top 5 pick. Like, they wouldn't be surprised if he went 5th overall. I would not be surprised. Damn sure wouldn't be surprised if he's going 10th. I think a lot of drafts have him going mid to late first round. I don't see that happening at all. I think if he gets past 11, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it's not unanimous, unfortunately. No, it's unanimous. I'm just messing with you guys. Yeah, it's Sauce, bro. Come on. Like, I mean, seriously, like the guy gave up under 100 yards this year and no touchdowns his entire career. And best of all, what I love most about him, other than all the other stuff, which is good, he brings the dog mentality. Brings the dog that we so desperately need here in Texanville. Let's just be real. So, I mean, great. I mean, we all I think we're all pretty kind of unanimous 3 through 1, but let's go over it anyways. All right, Spitz, you get this one. Who's your number 2, man?
Wild already knows this is Wild's boy, Stingley Jr. There's Stingley Jr. at LSU. Another guy who is just physically talented. I mean, he could do returns. He has every tool in his toolbox. He has all the repertoire. He has every skill in his toolbox to be a dominant number 1 corner of the NFL, like the top corner of the NFL. He has all the physical capabilities. He's my second grade player in the whole draft. My number 1 grade player is my number 1 DB, but he's the second grade player I have in the draft. I mean, he's just an amazing talent. He's an amazing talent. Not to mention he comes from LSU. Come on, man. I mean, it's LSU and Ohio State. Those are 2 DB schools. He comes from LSU. I mean, he just has all the physical tools.
Great point. Go ahead, man.
I wish we had a 1A. I wish we had a 1B. But since I gotta choose a number 2, it gotta be Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is number 2 to me. I'm sorry. I love Kyle Hamilton's. They might say Kyle Hamilton's is my brother in the Discord, but no.
Your twin. That's your brother. Your twin.
Yeah. He close, bro.
He reminds me of Jamal Adams coming out of college, but he can actually cover. The man can cover. I seen the man play a game early in the season against Florida State where he was on the opposite side of the field, came all the way on the other side of the field, 50 yards distance, caught the ball for interceptions, and made the play. When he wasn't even supposed to make the play. The man has breakout speed. The man has the pursuit level. The man is physical. The man he's a playmaker as well. He's long, he's lengthy, he's 6'4", almost 6'5". He's a leader on his defense. You hear nothing but good things about this guy. He's a Jack Easterby guy. That's why he's my number 2 guy. And this guy will be going top 5 in the draft. If he doesn't go top 5 in the draft, your favorite team is an idiot.
It's a good point, man. My number 2 is Stingley Jr. It's real simple. Mine is something that is going to absolutely infuriate Wise right now. I'm worried about his surgery, man. I'm worried about if he's going to be 100%. I'm worried about it. I'm sorry, man. It just kind of gets me on edge with someone who's hasn't seen a lot of snaps. I mean, consider what they did in college. He was shut down. But I mean, that's the only reason he's even number 2 for me. I mean, seriously. Yeah. I mean, kick returner abilities as well. Like the guy, he can do it all. Like there's really not a big hole in his game. And like, you know, and I agree with what Wise said, you know, 1A, 1B, you know what I mean? But that brings us to the number 1, and I'll give this one to Spitz, man. Who you got at number 1?
The guy that Wise just talked about. Really, I agree. Splitting hairs when you talk about Kyle Hamilton and you're talking about Darius Slayton Jr. because my number 1 is Kyle Hamilton. I think he's the best player in the draft, mostly because he's a unicorn. You're talking about a 6'4", 220-pound safety. They could play outside, can cover, can play in the box. You can even put him on 1-1 coverage and have him play corner if you want to. He can do every damn thing. And he's one of those guys, if you put him on your team, he will change your defense like that. He will change your defense instantly. He can play man-to-man. He can cover. He can come in the box. He can tackle. He can do everything.
They don't matter.
Everything.
Yeah.
He's a single high safety. He's a ball hawk. He can do anything that you ask him to do from a DB standpoint. He can do it. Not to mention the size he's doing it at 6'4", 220 pounds. Those guys don't grow on trees. Those guys don't come along anytime, let alone ever say once in a generation player. Those guys don't happen at all. You don't find those guys at all. So when somebody like that falls into your lap at the number 3 pick, you better pay dividends and snatch them up like that because those guys don't come around again. They don't.
Yeah. And I'm going to go because I want to save Stingley Jr. for last. Everything the Spitz said is true. And I'll even echo what Wise said on his number 2 about him. Guys, that Florida State game, he wasn't opposite field hash. He was opposite field sideline and made the play opposite sideline. Do you know how much field that is to cover in that short fucking time frame? This guy, look at it this way. How about this?
He wasn't even in the frame.
Example. Oh, it's insane. It's ridiculous. So How about this? I'll even put it to you this way. Most of the linebackers coming out in this class are smaller than this guy. Keep that in mind. You want to talk about playing in the box? He could easily play rover. Easily.
Hell, he played rover most of the time.
Dude, I mean, it's crazy, bro. Like this guy, the fact that he's even considered not making a top 5 in a lot of mock drafts right now is fucking insane to me. That's just crazy.
It's absurd.
It's just because he plays safety. I mean, there hasn't been a safety like this since 2017. It just hasn't. There hasn't been. So I'll leave it to the man. Yeah. Oh, I think so too.
He better than Jamal Adams.
I think so. He
coming out of college. Yeah. But number 1, Stingley Jr. Stingley Jr. for the best. The number 1 player in the draft. To me, at least, the only reason why I say Stingley Jr. is number 1, honestly, is he's Trayvon Diggs, but he can cover. He can actually play great man coverage. Like he's a guy. He's gonna take risks. He's gonna create turnovers. He didn't do a lot after his freshman year. His sophomore year, he only had maybe 2 interceptions. Then this was the past season. Of course, he had the ankle injury, and plus they lost their head coach and Ed Orgeron. But he did have plans to play wide receiver this year too. The guy can play wide receiver. The guy can play corner. The guy can kick return.
He's a Swiss Army knife, bro.
Exactly. Like, he can punt return. Like the man has great footwork. The man knows how to move his hips. The man is physical. He's you cannot pass on this guy, Stingley Jr. If you have the opportunity, he has the bloodline. His grandfather played for the Patriots. Texans? His grandfather played for the Patriots. That's why he got to be for the Texans. Come on now, do your research, Texans. Draft boy, Stingley Jr.'s number 1 corner. I will be doing a breakdown of Stingley Jr. later on. Maybe. Nice. Stay tuned.
Well, I mean, look at it this way to kind of echo what he was saying, right? I mean, he was in good freshman year, and he didn't even really play, and he's still considered a top 5 guy. When's the last time you heard that shit?
Why? I hope you know in a roundabout way, you just talked me out of Stingley Jr. You said now he got a paper connection. I don't want him now.
No. It was his grandfather. His grandfather played wide receiver, and unfortunately his grandfather got injured, so he couldn't play football anymore, whatever. And his dad played football too, but he went into college. He didn't get into the NFL. And Stingley Jr. is leading on the legacy. So Stingley Jr. he has the bloodline. Guys, that's usually a junior, like I said about Andrew Booth Jr. Elam, he do got a bloodline too. Yeah. Don't sleep. I'm telling you, those bloodlines in the NFL, they're very important because those guys are able to learn from somebody that's already been in the NFL, and they can take the formula and build upon that. So,
yeah, absolutely,
legacy players. And I think we all on the consensus that any team that ends up with the last 3 guys that we name, if it's Sauce, if it's Derek Stingley Jr., if it's Kyle Hamilton, have no complaints.
Exactly.
If your franchise walks away with one of those 3 players, you're happy. You're ecstatic. Let alone if your franchise could pull off some moves and end up with 2 of the 3, then it's a no-go. But like I said, I think we splitting heads when it comes to those 2 because I know damn sure I'm happy with either of those 2. I mean, with 3 Stingley, or if you take Hamilton 3, either or. There's like I said, 1A, 1B. They're right there because those are 2 guys who you can't duplicate. You can't duplicate those type of talents in the NFL.
I would even extend it if by whatever miracle those 2 guys go before our pick. Okay, let's say 1, 2. I would even be cool with Sauce at 3. Not even joking. Even joking.
I mean, if the Texans was able to, if they reached and it was like, okay, we see Sauce Gardner as the best corner in this draft.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad. I mean, he has the proven track record, so.
Well,
all right.
I mean, so, I think in that situation, if some weird chance Stingley and Hamilton went 1 and 2, I think you definitely trade that number 3 pick, trade back because somebody's going to want to jump up to get either Hutchinson or Evan Neal.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
when you do that, you could possibly end up with Sauce and Kamara Ealing, you could end up with 2 of those guys. So come on,
absolutely.
I think it'd be some good things could happen.
And Storm Duck.
Jesus, shut up. All right, so we're gonna wind it down, guys. We thank you for coming out, guys. You got anything you want to plug before we go, Spitz? What you got?
Like I said, man, y'all just keep your eyes and ears open. We're doing a lot of good things here on Sauce Sports, and man, it's a lot of drip. A lot of drip is dripping all year long, all 2020. We dripping sauce all 2020. So you better keep your eyes and your ears open. You don't want to miss none of this.
Absolutely.
The sauce stay dripping. You already know what I'm gonna say. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join the Patreon so you can get in the Discord action, be grandfathered in, get in the comment section. We want to know what you guys feel. We like to communicate with you all. If you disagree with the video, if you disagree with our order, or you've seen a player that should have been added to the list, comment the player below. Maybe we can talk about them later on. And oh, wait, no, we can't. We can't talk about them later on. Not in the video, but in the Discord. And you will have to join the Patreon to get that conversation.
Exactly.
That was a good plug. That was a good one. I like that one. That was a good plug.
Yes. I love it. Yes. So, you guys, we appreciate your time. You know, without you guys, there is no sauce. This is for you. We do this because we love it. And we want you guys to kind of sharing the pleasures of talking about prospects, at least at this particular moment, not necessarily our team. We'll get back to that, but we're going to bounce out of here. You guys stay saucy.